Money magnets and master traders, Uncle believes in the price action. And guys, this is 2025 has truly been a blessing for sheep style traders. We have so much volatility to the upside and to the downside. If you guys are wondering, is Uncle bullish or bearish? Do I favor upside or downside? I am still overall bearish, and I am going to explain why I am bearish still. Bulls, please don't turn away. But let me talk about how awesome the price action is. Why I believe in the price action. What do I always say? We trade on the 15-minute chart. Holy moly, donut shop. And this is Uncle's first post of the day for SPY in my Discord. 539.5 is first support as long as above 542 is in play. And if cleared, 543.3 and 545 are in play above. If 539.5 fails, then 538 and 536.5 or lower would be in play. We go to that 15-minute chart. What did the price do? Well, it started off bouncing off that 539.5 level. Let me change the color of this line to the green. Oh crap! Oh, that's a fib level. So okay. So, anyways, that blue line right there is my 539.5 level. As I wrote in my Discord, as long as above 539.5, 542 was in play. It bounced. It actually cleared 542. That's the red line right here. Cleared 542 and went and smashed that 545 level. It chopped a little bit, but it smashed that 545 level after bouncing off 539.5. That move was good for a level-to-level move. Cleared 542, hit 543.3 and 545. Good for a level-to-level move. Beautiful. However, that wasn't even the best move of the day because we cleared 543.3 and it dropped back below, hitting 542. Well, went a little bit lower than that. Went back up, hit 545. For some reason, the market makers would not let price get beyond 545. But we did have the false breakout setup. When do we trust rejection? When it's strong enough to break down support. Now, the one at 10 o'clock, when it broke down 543.3, it dropped a couple of dollars, $1.50. But the second time we had the false breakout, it gave us a lot more than $1.50 move. Broke down 543.3, broke down 542, and it dropped all the way down to 534. Okay, guys, this was alerted in the Discord as well. Okay, I wrote right here, 545 seems to have a lot of sell orders up there, but the more SPY test this area, the more the orders get absorbed. And once they're gone, we can get the breakout. 546.5 and 548 will be in play. Bears need to show strength and break down 543.3 and 542 to put 539.5 or lower in play. Be ready to react. Be ready to react. Very important. And once we got the breakdown, I wrote 545 held as resisted. Multiple levels failed, including 542 and 539.5. If 539.5 fails next, 538 and 536.5 in play. Goodness gracious, we got that false breakout. I mentioned we lost those levels. If we break down 539.5 next, which we did, 538 and lower targets would be in play. So how are we entering these? How are we playing these? When we break out resistant, we enter calls. So when you see Uncle alerting or mention, hey, we broke out of resistant, this level's in play, you either want to buy calls with a proper stop loss, or if you're not a bullish person, you're a bear person, just wait for the bearish setup. Just ignore it. If you don't care, just play the setups. If you're a bullish person, that's your setup. If you're a bearish person, just ignore the bullish setup. Wait for the bearish setup. I'm a sheep style trader. I play all the setups. Okay? And when do we enter puts? When we break down support, false breakout, all that happy stuff. And in this case, yesterday, the false breakout setup worked out wonderfully. Wonderfully, okay? Now, that's intraday trading. I hope you guys found value in that. Keep in mind, guys, even though I'm talking about these levels on the 15-minute chart, this approach, the principles that I'm sharing with you guys of trading works on the 4-hour and the daily chart as well. So if you are not a day trader like Uncle Chartist and you're more of a swing trader, you take Uncle's sheep style principle and you just simply apply it to the daily chart right here, okay? And you hold. The way I would do it, if I'm a swing trader, which I do once in a while, not all the time, but once in a while. I do it level to level style. My initial position, I do it level to level style. So if I buy 20 contracts, okay, I do a level to level style or maybe a couple level levels, depending on the volatility. I'll take profit on 15 contracts. I'll take my full $500 on 15 contracts quick, and then I'll swing the rest. I'll swing the rest of the 5 contracts, see if I can squeeze me another $500 to $1,000. That's how I do it. If you want more money, scale up. That's all I can say. For me, if I can make $200-300 a day, even $100 in a day, Uncle's happy. Okay, I try not to be greedy, but you know, everyone's different. So like I said, I share with you guys my day trading stuff, what I alert in my Discord and blah, blah, blah. But keep in mind, this works for swing trading as well, but you just have to apply it on the bigger time frame. 4 hours, daily, 1 week chart. That's what you would do it on. Okay, price action can work for day trading and it can work for swing trading. So let's get to the plan on the bigger time frame. Okay, are we bullish or bearish, Uncle? I'm bearish. Okay, Uncle, do you favor more upside or downside? What is your prediction? I don't do predictions, but I do favor more downside. And if I'm wrong, I am willing to be wrong, and I'm going to let the price action tell me if I'm wrong or right. Okay? Do not marry Uncle's opinion. It's just opinion, but I am favoring more downside. The reason is we have this downtrend line with multiple tests. This blue downtrend. Let me change the color to red because it's a bearish trend line. Okay, red usually associated with bearishness, right? It's going down. Guys, it's a downtrend. Trend line is down. What does that mean? That means lower highs and lower lows. Is lower highs, lower low bullish? No, it's pretty much, it's bearish. Okay, bear trend. So I would feel a lot more. Now this is from a swing trading perspective. Okay, this is from a swing trading perspective. I would feel a lot more comfortable swinging longs or contracts, call contracts, if we can break out this downtrend line. It's just that simple. If SPY can get into breakout mode, I would swing longs when we break out this downtrend line. The thing is, we didn't. It's bearish to me because of the trend. Okay, not because of my opinion, not because I dislike Donald Trump or whoever. It's because the trend is still bearish. Okay, when the trend turns bullish, I promise you I'll report it bullishly. But it's bearish right now. And right now, as of recording this, SPY is actually below the 20 daily moving average still. They attempted to break out yesterday, but they could not hold it as support. All right, bearish is what I'm seeing. But the question now is, will the market makers, will the price action show bearish follow through here? Okay, because I could say it's bearish all day, doesn't mean it's gonna go down. Okay, and I keep that in mind. You know, I don't control the market. We just looking to react. And if the market breaks down 535, my 533.2 fib level, and my 532 macro fib level. Let me say that again. 535, 533.2, and 532. If the market makers decide to break those levels down today, guess what? I'm going to enter puts. I'm going to look to short. Okay? It's not about me imposing my will. I'm just following the price action. Yes, I think it looks bearish. So if it gives me a bearish setup, I'm going to enter puts. And it has to break down 535, 533.2, and 532. And I show you guys on the 15-minute chart. That's how I do it. Now, I'm bearish, but if the market makers decide to give me a bullish setup, am I going to ignore it? Well, you can. You can definitely do that. And I have some traders in my Discord that do that. Some are biased traders. See, I always preach to be unbiased, but I still have biased traders that trade with me, and I'm totally fine with that. It's okay to disagree as long as we do it the right way. So what does that mean? What's the right way? Well, they are biased traders, and that means they ignore the setups they don't want to trade. Simple as that. They still price action traders. They still trade it unbiasedly to a degree. They trade it unbiasedly as in they follow the setups. They're not, if they're bear buyers, they're not just blindly entering puts. They're doing it using the price action. Does that make sense? So yeah, you got to know the rules in order to break them, guys. So yeah, basically 535, 533.2, and 532. If they fail, I will look to enter puts. 530, 528.6. There is a gap around the 527 area. I reckon it would get filled. Those would be targets, 525, and then there's a fib level 523. Overall, like I said, I'm bearish because of this downtrend line. I'm bearish because we're still below the 20 daily moving average. Where is that 5? The 5's around 525-ish, so just keep that in mind. We break down those levels, we are bearish, all right? And if you want to bring up the news and fundamentals, I mean, did we handle the tariff situation with China? China? No, yes. You see what I'm going with this, guys? You see where I'm going with this? So, but I'm going to focus on the price action. That's the bear case scenario, all right? Now, I got to do this unbiasedly. If there is a bull case to be had, as usual, the price actions behavior must reflect that, okay? I have a fib level of 536.3 and then 538 and 539.5. Once again, guys, those levels got to clear. At least minimum, at least on the 15-minute chart, and it has to prove itself as support, meaning if we break out of resistance, it needs to show that it's now support, show that there are buying pressure, show that there's a demand as a support, okay? Show that there's a demand as a support. Clearing 536.3, 530, and 539.5 would put 542 and 543.3 back in play. That's a fib level, but the most important level for me right now is 545 because that is where the downtrend line is. Below 545 is what's keeping SPY in a downtrend, okay? Because as long as below 545, SPY is still below that line. But if above it, guess what? SPY is then in breakout mode. So for all the swing traders out there, if you're asking me, when am I going to turn bullish? When should we go long, swinging longs? I would swing long when we break out this downtrend line. That needs SPY to not only clear 536.3 and 539.5. Those would be good for day trading moves. But if we're talking swing trading, multi-level, $20, $30, multi-day move in one direction, that's what y'all looking for, right? I need to see 545 clear. That's $10 away, few points away. Can the bulls do it? It's definitely a possibility. But unless it clears minimum 15-minute chart, I am going to remain bearish. All right? So that's the bull case scenario. We clear 536.3. That would put 539.5, 542, and 543.3, and of course 545 back in play. You guys, you saw what it looked like on the 15-minute chart up here around that 545 area. The market makers for some reason, did not. I don't think it's coincidence, but they did not want to let us get above that level, 545. And now you see on the daily chart why. Because 545 is it's where that downtrend line is. It's what's keeping SPY either bullish or bearish. That's the daily chart, higher time frame swing trading equilibrium level. Below it, we're still bearish. Above it, then we can talk about going bullish. Does that make sense, guys? I hope you guys found value in this. I love you guys so much, man. But I love price action. I believe in price action. And I hope you guys believe in it too. I mean, I think you guys do. That's why you're here, right? Speaking of price action, Triple Q is still barely above the 20 daily moving average. You know, Triple Q and SPY, they move similar, but a lot of times there are differences. Like SPY is already below the 20. Triple Q is either lagging or leading. Okay, it's either lagging or leading. And we'll know, hopefully we'll find out today if it's lagging or leading. Because we know if it's lagging, it should break down the 20 daily moving average. Okay, like a little delayed effect, if you will. Okay. Below 454 and 452.8, those are, well, 452.8 is a fib level. Below those levels, Unco will be bearish. Okay, below 456, I'm overall bearish on the day. But losing those levels, I would be more bearish because that's a fib level and it's also loss of the 20 daily moving average. Below 454 and 452.8, stay bearish, get bearish. 451, 449.6 will all be in play. 445, and then it's a gap around 444 as well. So those would be targets. If we lose 454, 452.8, we are bearish. 451, 449.6, 447, 445, and there's a gap around 444-ish area. Those would be targets, okay? If we are to get bearish, 456 must recapture. We lost that fib level yesterday. Well, it didn't hold that support. Not that we lost it. It's more like we gapped above it. It didn't hold that support. So it needed to clear 456, 458, and 460. Then we can talk about a bounce up to 463.3. 465, and then the fib level at 466.4. All right, we need to clear some resistance levels, starting with 456 and 460. NVDA barely above the 5 daily moving average. Where is the 20? It's below the 20. Still overall bearish here, guys. Can the bears show follow through today? Can they show follow through today? If the answer is yes, 102, 100.5, 99, 97.8, all must fail. The same way I show you guys on the 15-minute chart. Higher the time frame, the better. But those levels must fail to send us back to the downside. They got to stay up above 100.5. If you're a bull, you want to see 100.5 hold. That's a fib level and also around where the 5 daily moving average is. So if you're a bull, you don't want to see that level is lost. If you are a bear and that level is lost, you should be very happy. Okay, if you're a sheep, doesn't matter, whatever position you're in. But if we lose 102 and 100.5, I recommend getting in the puts. Now, if we are to get a bounce, as usual, 103.5 and 105 must clear. 105 failed to clear yesterday, so they need to do it today. Maybe they'll get above the 20 daily moving average. 107 and 108.6 would be in play. I'd be a little bit more bullish above 107 and 108.6 because that will send NVDA above the 20 daily moving average. They need above the 20 daily moving average if we are to get bullish. Otherwise, it's still overall looking bearish, and losing 102, 100.5 would be bearish follow through. Here is Tesla. Now, Tesla, I had a downtrend line. I think I mentioned it in yesterday's video. This blue downtrend line, we had 3 touches. Well, guess what? We had the 4th touch yesterday, and there was some selling pressure. 254.4 was my equilibrium level. We broke it down yesterday. It was very nice. Gave us a nice, beautiful move to the downside. Question is now is, will there be more? Will there be more? I have next support at 249, 247, and 245.6. We got the 4th test of this downtrend line. Breaking down those support would be bearish follow through and should send us back to the lows or lower lows, okay? That's like below like 230, guys. That's a big move to the downside. But we'll need to lose 249, 247, 245.6. There is a gap around 237-ish, okay? Potential big moves incoming for Tesla to the downside if we break down those support levels. Now, if we want to get bearish, we got to break out that downtrend line. For that to happen, I have resistance at 251, 253 in the fib level at 254.4. We can do 0.5. If we clear that, we can go test 256 and 257.5. Now, 257.5 is based on the downtrend line. Above 257.5 would be breakout mode, sending us up to 260, 263.5 or higher. I would be a little bit more bullish, at least for the short term, above 257.5. But before we even can get there, 251, 253, and 254.5 are levels to clear first. Coin, what a beautiful move to the upside. I'm super grateful that we had that move on Tuesday, and we got more follow through on Wednesday when we gapped up. But here's an interesting thing here. It's starting to look like a potential evening star pattern, so we got to be careful. Not really, is it? Yeah, it's a potential evening star. Not perfect, but it looks similar, okay? So got to be very careful we don't get rug pulled, all right? If you are long, hopefully you guys secured some profits and only holding runners, okay? Not guaranteed we'll get rug pulled. Usually I see a setup like this. The third candle is usually a big move. It could be a rug pull or a big pop to the upside, but usually it's a big move. We'll see what direction the market makers decide. For our job is to know the levels and be able to react to it when it happens. So if it is going to be bearish today, 191.8 and 190 must fail to put 188.3, 187, 185, and 183 in play. Okay, guys? We need to break down 191.8 and 190 to get bearish, all right? Now, if this is a bounce, I have resistance at 194 and 195.5. If those levels clear, there's a really big chance that we can go hit 200, possibly higher. All right? Be ready to react. If we are to go to the upside, 194 and 195.5 must clear to give us that big pop to the upside. Do not worry about your entry being perfect. Just get it as good as you can, as best you can, but don't stress or beat yourself up or be mad because it's not as perfect as you want it to be. There's no perfect in the stock market. Get that out your head. There's no perfection in the stock market. And that's a good thing. You don't have to be perfect to make money. That's a good thing, all right? So remember, 191.8 and 190 fails, we are dropping. And if 194 and 195.5 clears, we are popping. Popping. Okay, okay, so VIX is consolidating a little big, had a little bounce, had a little drop. 28.5 is still support. If it wants to give us a directional move to the downside, it needs to hold 30 as resistance, break down 28.5. We should be dropping to the downside. But if we are popping, 30 and 31.4 must clear, and I would get bullish on the VIX once again. And if the VIX starts getting bullish, that means volatility incoming, baby. All right, that's a good thing. Okay, guys, good luck today. Let's finish this strong. It's not the end of the week. We still got Friday tomorrow, but it is towards the end of the week. Thursday is usually a fun day to trade, so fingers crossed it'll be another awesome Thursday. Okay, guys, love y'all. Peace.